All right, welcome back, Troll Nation. Today is Kemimoto Day. We are going to be installing a set of mud guards for our Talon and a set of side view mirrors, so stick around. Okay, we're going to get started with our front mud guard. So if you watched any of our other videos, you kind of already know what's going on, but for those of you that are kind of new to what we're trying to do here, this is what we got going on. For our electrical accessories, we did everything up underneath this part of the unit. So as you can see here, this thing is wide open on this side. So what this kit is going to allow us to do is to take off this piece of rubber right here and replace it with this guy, which will seal off all of our sensitive electronics that we've already installed up here from any giant chunks of mud, dirt, debris, stuff like that. Just a little bit of extra protection. Okay, everything we are taking out is held in by Honda's little sliding push pins. Everything we're putting back in gets put back in with more push pins. So a little $9 tool from Amazon is really going to help us out with this. Much better.
Definitely an upgrade from using side cutters. Maybe don't drop stuff.
Well, Kemimoto actually provides us with all of the push pins that we need to reinstall the front and the back. And even on the back, we're going to be using some zip ties and spots, and those are included in the kit as well. So they've really taken care of you with actually getting everything you need to do this install right. Okay, old one's out, new one's ready to come in. As you can see, these are actually going to line up with the hangers that we already have, and it's already pre-drilled for all the push pins that we are going to need to install. Also, if you like everything that you're going to be seeing here today, all of our Kemimoto accessories were bought off of Amazon.com. You will find the links for those in the description below. Okay, even though Kemimoto gives us all brand new push pins, I'm going to try to reutilize some of these used ones as much as I can so we can keep the brand new ones for later projects down the road if we need them. Okay, front side's in. All of our cutouts, all of our push pin holes, everything lined up absolutely perfect. This literally took me less than 5 minutes, and now I got a little bit of protection for my electrical components. Very, very happy. So now we'll move on to the back.
So this fills in all the areas really nice. Obviously it's not going to keep everything out, but should keep a good chunk of the splatter away.
Okay, so here we are on the rear passenger side, and you can definitely see why we're going to want a little bit of a mudguard here. This is just from running around in my backyard trying to get my 100 miles in so I can do my darn first oil change. So this is what we got for the back. You'll see that we have a cutout right here that we're going to have to poke through. This is actually for your Nerf bar, so you want to make sure that that stays available to you. We have one push pin hole that is going to be replacing that little push pin right up there. And then all of these little double holes here are actually going to be for zip ties to go around, and the zip ties will hang on to our tube chassis. Okay, so I just have this sitting in here for now. Went ahead and removed the top push pin. And as you can see, the way that these got to fit in here is you actually have to tuck it up and behind these plastics right here. So I think what we're going to do, now that I have it sitting in here and I see where everything's got to go, I think we're probably going to start on the bottom here, because we have to have zip ties here, 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 and here. And then we'll finish up by putting that push pin back in the top. Okay, so what we did is we just have our zip ties on here pretty loosely, just so we got room to move everything around. We're going to get our Nerf bar bracket stuck through here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get this top part tucked up underneath this plastic here and line up our top push pin hole with this top part right here. Alright, I'm going to secure our top before buttoning down the, before tightening up the zip ties. And I was able to reuse that push pin, thankfully. And can you get me down over here? So now I'm going to go through and we're going to get all of this tucked in beside the plastics. And I think to make tucking it easier, I'm going to remove this little push pin right here. Can you actually see that from where you're at? So let's pop this push pin out. That'll loosen that up enough. I can tuck that up in there just a little more. Okay. I will say, I was tugging on these pretty darn hard to get everything in and around the bars and back through again. And this rubber had absolutely no signs whatsoever of wanting to stretch or break loose. So I mean, this is, awesome quality stuff. Awesome, awesome. Kemimoto, you guys did a great job with this. Definitely filling a need for our other Talon owners out there that don't like getting mud and dirt and grit and grime where it doesn't belong. So there's that. We'll put our one push pin back. Now this one doesn't actually hold the guard in any way, shape, or form. Just make sure everything's tucked in here. One more last check. Looking good.
Let's clip the ends of the zip ties off and rinse, lather, repeat on the other side.
All right, so passenger side wrapped up. Now we're on to the driver's side. So again, just like the last one, I'm just sticking this in here just to see how everything fits up and making sure everything's going to fit properly. This side, we don't have a push pin to get rid of. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be popping that little bolt off right there. That should be a 10 millimeter. So we can tuck this up in underneath. And then we are going to have zip tie points right here. And then 2 more right here and right here. Okay, goofed up on my zip tie points a little bit, found a few extras over here on the sides. So what we're going to do, just like with the last side, we are going to actually start at the bottom with our zip ties, leave them nice and loose, and then work our way up. We will secure our top bolt, make sure everything gets in there tucked underneath the plastics like it should, and then we'll tighten down our zip ties and trim them off. Alright, so just found something out here. Kind of hear that. There's a set of heat fins up under here. So when you're tucking this rubber in here, you're not just tucking it underneath the plastic. You have to get up underneath these fins right here. So it turns out this driver's side door vent is actually a functional intake that brings in cold air and washes over whatever this control unit here is.
I wonder if it's a voltage regulator of some sort.
Well, it's plugged into the engine, so I'm guessing, you know, sensors and all that fun stuff. So not really sure what it's for, but it's there, and we got to make sure that we go around it. So I got everything tucked up underneath here. We're tucked in on the sides, tucked up here, tucked here, tucked here. So I'm going to get this bolt replaced here, and then we will cinch down our zip ties. And this is just going into a little metal clip. So do not over tighten this guy or you will break it. There are no torque specs on this. Just use some good common sense here.
Sorry about the camera angle too, guys, but there's just no good way to get in here to film everything.
It's a little tight working around the suspension.
Just thank God Jeff took a shower.
All right, so we're leaving space here. We can still get to our Nerf bar mounts, both top and bottom. That's tucked in all the way around. We're tucked there. No massive wrinkles. Get her trimmed up. Okay, so driver's side's all buttoned up. We got everything cinched down, locked down, good to go. So first impressions of the Kemimoto mudguard kit for the Talon. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's move on to some side view mirrors. Okay. So, as you probably remember from last video, we did have a full-size, full windshield on here. So we took that off to get this installed on. So what we did is got our big windshield off, took our half windshield out of the box, got that measured up, and then it made a couple of notches on the roll bar so I know exactly where the bottoms of the mirrors are going to go.
Marks, not notches.
No, sure, whatever. So
don't want anybody thinking we cut the roll bar.
So once we get all of that fun stuff done, we'll be able to remove just a little bit of weather stripping gasket from the full windshield to actually go around the clamps that are going to be holding on our mirrors. So our Kemimoto mirrors out of the box come with 2 different size clamps. one for 1 3/4, one for 2-inch. We're going to be utilizing the 2-inch, and also some protective rubber to go on the inside to make sure that you don't scratch your paint. So these rubber gaskets, or protectors, or whatever you want to call them, do have a little bit of a lip on them, and that is to make sure that they don't slide up and down on your brackets. So make sure that those are facing the outside, just like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do on our unit, left side's gonna go on right side's gonna go on left, because I'm actually gonna be having them hang down instead of sticking upwards. So what we gotta do, we gotta clock these the right way to make sure that once they're in here, the mirror is actually all the way down. So all we have is a little Allen bolt right there that'll loosen up, that will allow this to turn, and then we'll be able to cinch it down to our bar. All right, this is a 3mm Allen. They're loosened up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this as straight as possible on this little joint here. I'm gonna put this in here.
I'm gonna say you're probably gonna want the cameraman to hang on to it while you sit in it.
Actually right there is straight up and down perfect. So, have that angle, oops, and just snug her back down. Now this is metal on plastic, folks, so again, use your head. Do not over tighten this thing or you will break it. Oh God, it's gonna be so nice. I don't realize how much I miss rear view mirrors. Or side view mirrors. I mean, rear view is one thing, but side view. Okay, we are, okay, doesn't like, okay, so we have this type of bolt right here, and they are directional. These holes are actually smaller than the ones on the back, so these are going to have to end up going through this way. And the threaded part will be facing forward on ours. Alright, let's figure out what Allens these are. Okay, so our bolts holding it onto our brackets here are 5mm each. And we're just gonna snug it down, not even close to tight, so we can get both sides in with as little grief as possible. And it will also allow us to make sure that we have this set up. I don't know how to exactly say that.
I want to be able to make sure you can see behind you.
Yeah, that too.
Gotta make sure it's
I want
clocked.
to make sure this is straight. Line this up, so we gotta go down just a little bit. Right there. Okay. So now we are ready to tighten them down. FYI, this is a lot easier. You have 10 fingers. 7's pushing it a little bit. Okay, and again,
10 out of 10 fingers would recommend.
yes. And again, we are just squishing pieces of plastic together, so don't overdo it, folks. Save yourself the headache. Okay. A good looking driver's side mirror. Let's do the passenger side. Alright, so make sure that we're lined up with our mark, not our notch. We did not cut the roll cage. Our mark. That is looking good. Get our bolts, attach our mirror. Alright, once again, I'm going to get this centered up as I can on the ball here. We will loosen up our 3mm Allen. Just enough so we can rotate. And make sure you get that to as close as up and down as possible. That is perfect right there. And tighten her back down. Just snug. And look down this way, make sure we have that in the center. There. And tighten down. And these are fragile parts, folks, so please don't run these things down with an impact or anything like that, or you will be causing yourself one heck of a mess. All right.
Now it's time to put Jeff in the seat and get these things clocked to where they need to be so we can tighten everything down.
Yep. I'm really curious to see how our roll bars line up here, because the Talon roll bars on the front kind of angle in just a little bit, so I'm curious on how much of our B-pillar we're actually going to be seeing through these. So let's take a look. Okay. That will work. Got a good view of my fender. I can see my rear tire very well. That is going to be a massive thing for me. I was having problems backing up into my garage. How I have everything stored. My garage has a pole probably about 3/4 of the way through for rafter truss support. And I would have to back up, go around the pole, and then go around a little wall before I could actually put it in its parking spot. And that was a pain in the butt when all you were using was a single rear view up here. So these side mirrors are going to be absolutely fantastic. Everything looks good. Tighten down those tension bolts just a little bit. But no, I can see behind me very, very well. They don't stick out too far. They're nice and skinny. Yeah, we got a real winner here, folks. So Kemimoto rear view mirrors. Side view mirrors. Awesome. Again, everything you've seen here today, bought off of Amazon. Links in the description below. Okay, so last thing I'm going to end up doing here is these are actually a little bit on the loose side. So there is a 10mm nylock bolt right here. If you're not hanging these down, it's going to be underneath. So we're just going to give it a couple of, and it is just a spring and a rubber ball underneath of it, so do not over tighten this. Just tiny.
But you want to tighten it down enough so it doesn't flop and move around on you. You don't want the air of driving it down the road to move it.
Right. And that actually, that feels pretty good there. Wonderful. Okay. Well, folks, that is going to pretty much wrap up our Kemimoto accessory install.
Yep. Throw the windshield and the hood back on, and it's done.
Put the windshield back on. We'll button everything up. You guys don't need to see all that fun, boring stuff. We're gonna notch out the gasket on the windshield to go over this. Gosh, I couldn't be happier for the price points on everything that we've installed here today. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, my gosh, these mirrors were less than $20 on Amazon, and they are fantastic. Mounting hardware, very high quality. The bolts were great. The mud guards, oh my God, can't say enough good things about those mud guards. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, make sure you check them out. Again, everything. Amazon links are going to be in the description below. Make sure you check out Kemimoto. Check out their website. See what they're all about. Really good group of people. From what I've heard, absolutely fantastic customer service. So make sure you give those guys a good look. So once again, thank you all so much for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, all that other fun stuff. Make sure you check back. We're going to have more Talon installs coming up right shortly. And gosh, hopefully, I mean, we're in March here. Snow's starting to melt, folks. So, we're right there. We can taste it. We're going to be getting some ripping in real soon. So, probably the next video you're going to be seeing from us, from a Talon perspective, is going to be the first 100-mile ride. First thoughts. Not going to do a full review at 100 miles. That's just flat out not fair. So we'll give you our first impressions on it. Run you through the 100-mile service. We're going to be getting all of our stuff switched over to AMSOIL, so if you're interested in that, make sure you check back. And gosh, I think that pretty much wraps it up for me. I know Neil's got a couple words for you. So thanks again, everybody. Stay safe. We will see you on the trails.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and we also now have a TikTok. So if you're interested in that, check us out. Other than that, have a wonderful day.